Well, I just got back to camp after my walk, and it's a little chilly out here. I was a little bit damp from sweating, and probably in the last 20 minutes, the temperature's dropped by, oh, it's cooling off fast. I bet it's dropped 10, 15 degrees. I'm starting to get concerned that it might be a little chilly tonight. It just has that feel in the air. So I'm just going to kick back. I've been having a fantastic time, actually. This has been a really good day, and considering I only spent $25 on all this stuff, I'm surprisingly having a good time. All right, well, I dried off a little bit, and now I don't feel so chilly. I was actually getting pretty chilly there for a while, but starting to get a little drowsy, and it's getting darker and darker all the time. It's probably still another half hour or so worth of twilight, but it's coming. So I'm kind of surprised that I've had as much fun as I've had on that $25 worth of stuff, and really outside of that $25 worth of stuff that I bought, the only other thing that I've used has been my pocket knife and my Bic lighter. So yeah, I'm thinking I may just pull that tarp over me, if nothing else, just to keep the wind off me. I have a pretty thick mat of boughs and grass and stuff underneath me, so I don't anticipate getting too chilly from the bottom, but if there's a little bit of a breeze blowing across me, that could make the difference. The good news is this is pretty darn comfortable, this bed, so I'm thinking that I'll probably try to go to sleep pretty quickly and get a couple of hours in before it gets too cold. So if I can get a good 3-4 hours of sleep, and I don't know what I'm going to do if I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep anymore. I don't have a flashlight or anything, so it's not like I can do much. And I can't really build a fire because of the fire danger. So we'll just see how it goes. It's starting to get dusk. I'm thinking about that cougar a little bit. Luckily, I did bring a little protection with me. So I'm going to keep this on my hip all night. All right. Well, I just woke up a little bit. I heard something tromping around out in the woods, and got my tarp fixed and my towel fixed, and I don't hear anything out there anymore. So I think I'm going to try to get a little bit more sleep. I just noticed that my battery is almost dead too. But so I can do a little bit tomorrow morning. Coyote works out. Okay. Alright guys, I had to get up, move around a little bit. I got cold. So I got my towel wrapped around me, and I'm doing a little bit of calisthenics in place, trying to get my blood going. I ate another one of those Danishes. Hit a few calories in me. That always helps keep me warm. So just gonna get my blood flowing again, and then lay down and try to get a couple more hours of sleep. Well, it got a little cold last night. The sun is just starting to break up over the ridge back there, so hopefully it'll start warming up down here a little bit now. I am going to try and get a little water boiling so I can have a little bit of caffeine this morning, but I've been spending about the last 2 hours just trying to get warmed up, just taking walks and laying down and getting covered up, but the bed was comfortable. It just got a little cold later in the night, or I guess I should say earlier in the morning. So I'm going to have a little breakfast and a little coffee next. All right, I got my coffee water boiling here. That's the best dollar worth of cheap, simple carbohydrates I've ever bought. Water's actually warming up nicely. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but there's a little steam rising off my coffee. Well, I tell you guys, sitting here having my coffee this morning, I got a little bit cold last night, but so far this feels like a pretty sweet little trip. I've actually been having a really good time out here. Did a lot of hiking, found some remnants of some old mining or Forest Service activity or something, and having my morning coffee out of a Jam and Jerk Chicken Campbell's soup can. I feel sort of like I'm living a little bit like a hobo, but I'd say this experiment is a success. I'm going to finish my coffee and pack my gear up, and I got a pretty decent hike out of here. I have to go kind of up over a crest of a ridge line and follow the ridge line and down through a couple of canyons, so I got a decent hike out of here. So I'm going to polish off my coffee, and I think I have a can of Beanie Weenies left for the lunchtime today, and I'm going to call it a trip. Cheers. All right, so there's my entire gear for what's turning into about a 36-hour hiking trip, or mock bug out if you want to call it that. But I just thought I'd show you guys what I have left here, since it's interesting to me because it seemed like I had so little when I left, but I actually have a lot left, and I'm probably 5 or 6 hours from being back to my car. So of course, I took the can that I ate my soup out of and made my coffee in, because that's the only metal container I have with me. But I still have the 2 spoons. I used one of them, but obviously it's not ruined. I have that little napkin there is still, I used it to clean up a little bit with, hung it, dried it, and it's actually still usable. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the candles left. 3 containers of mandarin oranges, 1 can of Beanie Weenies, a whole shitload of packets of coffee, 2 energy bars. So that's plenty of food to get me through a 6-hour hike. I won't even come close to using all of that food. I'll probably just end up eating those 2 energy bars and maybe 1 of the packets of coffee. Then I have a little over a half a gallon of water left, and that blue bag is my trash bag, and that yellow bag is the extra plastic bags I had, and the tarp. So that's it. A can, 2 spoons, a napkin, a beach towel, some candles, some food, and some water, and the tarp. And that was all the gear that I had. And other than a few hours early this morning, I was actually pretty comfortable with that amount of gear.